Well, one of the main reasons I like him is for the characters. Um, it was, of course, the main Doctor, which I think it was interesting that they managed to find a way around tying the central character to simply one actor, as like they do a lot of shows, like with, for instance, Star Trek. Um, you know, they've kind of gotten away with that, with the different spaceships each having their own captain. But that's a different person. I mean, Captain James Kirk is pretty much tied to William Shatner. You don't really have any others. Whereas with Doctor Who, it's expected that sooner or later his character will die, or at least regenerate and go to another one. That was kind of the basic premise. It was, I'd say, it was interesting that they managed to find a way around that to keep the show going on for 50 years without having to change everything like a lot of shows. Another reason I like Doctor Who is for the emotions that come with it. It's almost like sort of my type of soap opera. I mean, you have love, you have joy, happiness. You've got a lot of sadness, a lot of partings, and in a sense, I can relate to the main character in that, you know, it, in that he's connected with a lot of these people, and yet because of who he is, because he gets old, but he does not die really, and yet all of his friends must come and go, and he has to leave them. They die, they get taken away, they need to go back to their own lives, and yet he still goes on. So, it's a show that really makes you think about stuff, even if it's one of these, as the Doctor says, wibbly wobbly, timey wimey stuff, where A leads to B, B leads to A, or where A couldn't have led to B, and yet B couldn't have led to A. Where did it start? It's not something that you can watch really mindlessly, that it makes you actually think about things, even if it makes you think about how illogical things may be. The fact that while a lot of times Doctor Who is taking place on Earth, there are many times when it goes to different planets. It's gone to the beginning of the universe, the end of the universe, outside of the universe, parallel universes. And there's a lot of, I guess you'd call it temporal mechanics, interfering in the past and whatnot. One of the things that makes it different from, say, Star Trek is that it doesn't deal too much with science that actually could be used today. I mean, there's like in Star Trek, you have the teleporter, which there have been various ways that we think we might be able to use that. There's the PDA, there's all sorts of stuff which Star Trek has given us, but with Doctor Who, there's no way to, for instance, make the TARDIS, which is like this little thing, which is to make this actually bigger on the inside than the outside. It sort of defies logic. Then you also have, of course, the sonic screwdriver. When it first started, it was sort of like this. It was basically used as a screwdriver, but as it evolved, it got to this instrument, which is used to scan. It's used to open, close, lock, unlock, break glass, and all sorts of stuff. And really, the science. There's no science behind behind this. It's just one of those things that they decided to use. I've been interested in the show for, well, probably most of my life. I remember first being shown it when I was like 8 and at a sleepover at a friend's house. I woke up sometime early in the morning, and for a lot of you, this is probably before your time, but used to, TV shows didn't run 24 hours. They would go until about 10 o'clock, and then you'd have the national anthem, and then someone saying good night or goodbye, and then there'd be White Snow. Maybe a few programs here and there, but there wasn't cable. For some reason I woke up and it was late at night, and I saw the very end of one of the programs. I had this distinct feeling that it was Mary Jane, Sarah Jane, that was in trouble. I remember hearing her call out a doctor and then seeing the closing credits, and from that point on I was hooked. So I've been through Doctor Who for quite a bit. There was a bit of a hiatus when I was in the Navy, but I came back to it, so I've been following it ever since, even starting from when the new series started out. Oh, sure, I was like one of those that, oh, well, this is a new series. It's going to be nothing like the old, I don't think I'll like it. But after a while, I warmed up to it and have sort of gotten hooked on it ever since. So I know it's not one of these shows, oh, everybody's going to like it, To me, it's to each their own. So everybody has their own likes and dislikes. But I think it's a show that is pretty interesting, and the fact that it's actually gone on for over 50 years, it's about the only show that really can say that's done that, is fascinating. So, but I'm still keep waiting for the next one. Of course, the next one's not going to be out until about Christmas, but I'm going to be there for it when it does. It's also interesting hearing that my dad actually liked it. I didn't think that he would be really into it, but guess what? What do I know? So, well, that's it for me, and all about why I like Doctor Who. I hope you enjoy listening to me, and hope you'll share it, like it, and comment on it. I hope to see y'all next time. Bye. See y'all later.